So here's our objectives. I know the abbreviation for some types of units, and I can estimate what kind of units are used in given situations. That's it. So we have this chart right here, and in red, I guess, up here though. Okay, so we got, these are all U.S. customary units, and you have units of length, weight, and then capacity. You could say volume as well. I'm trying to think if there's a better word for it, because when I say capacity in my mind, I usually think electronics, but I could be way off there too. In any case, then you have metric units of length, weight, and then capacity as well, or again, volume, right? Now, we're going to go through each of these in their own respects and convert them into each other in later lessons, which is why, if you're not familiar with these units, the other lessons are going to, well, they're going to kind of suck pretty bad, because if you don't know what a yard is, then it'll be kind of rough there. But we'll help you out with that too. There are rates, which are common, at least for the U.S. customary, that's miles per hour. In other countries, my understanding is they have kph for kilometers per hour, but I've been told that's wrong. It's kilometers per hour as well, and I don't know which is which. So something like this one right here, kilometer or kilometer, I have no idea which is correct. Also, I don't care. So I'll usually say both or one, and I don't really care what other people think, but whatever. Okay. So you have the names. These are the actual names here on the left column. And then the one just to its right in the same color is its abbreviation. So inches, you see, you can use this quotations for inches. So if I wanted to represent something like 3 inches, I could just write it like this if I wanted to, okay? Or if you wanted to, you could write it like this one as well. These two are read exactly the same, 3 inches and 3 inches. Feet, however, is just a, I want to say that's an apostrophe, but I don't know the difference. But feet can be shown with FT, feet, or with this apostrophe thing. So again, if you wanted something like, let's say 5 feet, you'd say 5 feet like this. Or again, you could say 5 feet like this, okay? Now, from what I understand, those are the only two that really have two different ways to show. In these abbreviations like this, with the quotations and then the apostrophe, I'm not aware of any other labels that have that type of labeling, or that can be abbreviated that way, okay? Now, that's quite a chart right there. Especially the metric, and we'll look more at the metric. What you should notice about the metrics down here is that we have this row right here in the middle. These are what we would call the base units. Okay? Now, what's so unique about base units is that all the other labels are based off of that unit. So you have a meter, but you could also have a kilometer, or a millimeter, or a centimeter. Decimeters and decameters aren't as common, but they do exist. Same with grams. You may have heard of a kilogram, or a milligram, or a centigram, or something like that. But again, they're all based off of what an actual gram is. Same with liters. You have, I don't know, kiloliters. I don't know which of these would be common because I live in America, but either way, okay, you got milliliters, centiliters, deciliters, and this kind of thing, okay? But they're all based off of these. The nice thing about metric is they're all base 10. They're based on tens. So, it seems like they're missing one here, but either way, if you had 1 meter, you would need 1,000 of those to make a kilometer, for example, okay? Whereas up here in U.S. customary units, it's not as direct, in my opinion. Well, it would be direct, okay? Because, for example, in order to make a foot, 1 foot, you would need 12 inches. 12 is not really how our number system works. Our number system is base 10. You have a ones place value, then a tens place value, and then a hundreds place value, and then so forth. But even into the decimals, you have tenths, and then hundredths, and then thousandths, and so forth, okay? which is how the metric system works. But the U.S. customary system doesn't work that way. Like quarts, right? It takes 4 quarts to make a gallon, which may seem kind of obvious because quart kind of sounds like quarter, which is a fourth. So 4 of them would make 1 gallon. Or like 2,000 pounds will make a ton. Like, what the crap? How does that work, right? I don't know. I didn't make this up. Someone else did. And now this is the way things work, okay? All right. Now, just so we understand, there are some comparisons that we can make. For example, and I'm not saying it's exact, and some people are going to say that I'm full of crap here, but a yard, if you were to compare a yard with one of the metric units, it would be about 1 full meter. Okay, now it's less than 1 meter. Again, I'm not saying they're exactly the same, but they're about the same. Okay. And then you'd have a decimeter, which is 1/10 of that. A centimeter is 100th of the meter, and then a millimeter is 1,000th of a meter, which is very small. It's very small. Okay. In fact, I wouldn't even say that I would compare an inch to a centimeter, but you technically could, I suppose. Okay. And then let's see, we got a pound. A pound, again, I wouldn't make this direct comparison with pounds and kilograms, but it takes 2.2 pounds to make 1 kilogram. Okay, now, do we know what a pound is? I don't know. You have to decide for yourself. Like, when I think about a pound, I think of bacon, but that's just me. And I know what a pound of bacon looks like. I can see a pound of bacon in my mind. But if you were to say, what's a kilogram of bacon look like? Again, in my mind, I know what 2.2 pounds of bacon looks like, but it'd be a little bit harder to think about, okay? And then a liter, it takes almost 4 liters to make one gallon. And so if you think about a gallon of milk, if you were to cut that into fourths, so yeah, maybe a quart would be more like a liter. But I think about comparing with gallons because of milk. My kids drink a lot of milk. So this is what we can expect to see on an assignment. Fill in the blank with the best units. Now, from what I remember on the assignment, it's also multiple choice. I didn't make this multiple choice because I want us to see that what definitely would not work here. For example, the next town is 30 blank away. Now, you just got to fill in this blank, okay? Yeah, now I'm going to go with that too. However, what they may do is they may say, is it going to be 30 cups away? That's what the crap? Kilometers. How would that work? Okay, kilometers I think would work as well, okay? So we've said miles or kilometers, km, okay? Now what do we say 30 feet away? It's possible you could, but we wouldn't generally stand 30 feet away from a city or town and be like, look at that 30 feet away city, town, place, right? So just with those two, between miles and feet, or even yards, miles is still the best choice there, okay? Now, again, if you want to say kilometers, and because you're more familiar with those, then I would say that's acceptable. But again, there are some that don't work. Would you say that the next town is 30 ounces away? No, because now you're dealing with weight. What kind of town is 30, what the crap? How can it be 30 ounces away? You see what I'm saying? Like, away indicates some form of distance. And so we should choose a form of distance or length. Okay? All right, so there's our chart still. So we're going to fill in the blank. The pancake recipe called for 1 blank of milk.
Or a couple cups of milk.
We're going to go with cups on this. But depending on who you're cooking for or how many people, you may end up using gallons or kiloliters. No, not kiloliters. That's 1,000 liters. That's way too much. I can't think of any recipe. I mean, maybe, whatever. A restaurant, perhaps. Perhaps. Like,
I think if they're making cookies all day long, they're going to go through a couple pounds of sugar or pounds of
yes.
ounces of milk or whatever, you know?
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. No, I agree. So here we go. Fill in this blank. The toothpaste tube. Sorry for the typo again. The toothpaste tube hold 5 blank of toothpaste. So we're gonna say that we're we're gonna rule out the lengths. Could we say a weight, perhaps? I think you could. I think you could. I think you could say maybe ounces. Maybe you could have, I mean, a tube I wouldn't expect to have 5 pounds of toothpaste, but maybe 5 weighted ounces. So we could say, let's go in here and say, you know what, it's a possible option right there. But I guess I should have checked on a toothpaste tube. But I believe what they want on this one is fluid ounces. Now, is toothpaste a fluid? I'll let you decide. But I believe that that's what they would go for on this one. Fluid ounces. Okay. Now again, would ounces work? Yes, it would. But again, since the assignment on this would be multiple choice, they probably would not put both of these options on there. If they do, just go to your toothpaste tube and see what they say. Are they saying ounces or fluid ounces? I fill in this blank. The letter, not ladder, because I was thinking maybe it should be ladder, but the letter weighs 40. Now, it's a weight, right? Now, they even told us here, it definitely is a weight. So right off the bat, we're going to rule out lengths and volume right here.
It's a letter, like.
So in my opinion, looking at this, reading it, I'm thinking of an envelope letter. Right? Like it's just paper in other paper.
I can see ounces,
right?
maybe.
Now, well, yeah, so I would say the same thing too. I would say ounces. If you wanted to go metric, I would maybe say grams, but that could be wrong because I know grams are small, but I don't know what 40 grams would be like. But I feel like 40 ounces should work. Now, again, let's just look at some of the other possibilities. Could it be 40 pounds?
I mean, it could, but I mean, what you got in there, a small child?
Well, probably not in an envelope, though, right? And hopefully not children as well. But would we say 40 tons?
No.
Oh, you need a forklift for something like that. Well, that's more than a forklift, right? That's like a crane. And then the metric units, again, my familiarity with those isn't very good. So we're just gonna go with ounces. Although I believe grams would work, I just couldn't confirm that for sure. That's this assignment right there. Just kind of fill in the blanks. Tell the assignment what you think best units would go there, or
This is 8-2.
that kind of thing.